This isn't just a third grade issue. The schools, right from the beginning in pre-K and K, are heavily focused on getting kids to learn how to read during that critical period where they need to get it. And there's a much greater focus on learning how to read because it is the gateway to all subsequent learning, right? If you can't read, you can't learn after you get out of third grade. So, quite frankly, this is a success at a scale that is very real, seldom I've ever seen, and there's a lot to it. But it actually, the retention policy promotes parental involvement because right from the beginning, during the early tests, there's a lot of early notification for struggling kids. They bring the parents in, they develop a home reading plan. It is made very clear to the parents that if your child is to be successful in life, they absolutely have to learn how to read, right? And the system has responded to this challenge in a way that's remarkably successful. Lots of work still to do. And let me be very clear. Florida is the state that used to be really, really bad and have made a lot of improvement. It's not education nirvana, right? It's not the highest ranking state in the country, right? But it is a remarkably successful state that has especially moved the needle for disadvantaged kids. So in combination, these things together changed the culture of public schools in Florida, got them focused on academic achievement as the guiding principle of their operations, and moved things up. So that, having included answer your question.
And I also wanted to mention just a couple last things. So what can Ohio take from this? Our recommendations is that policy leaders in Ohio need to consider a number of steps that have been proven successful in Florida and have really moved achievement, especially for low-income and minority students, including, as you heard, the elimination of social promotion of third graders. Florida did it. Its students, all categories of students in Florida, are reading better than ever. Ohio only retains, it's estimated, 0.6% of third graders, despite the fact that 20% of our own state assessment are not proficient in reading. Create crystal clear, meaningful state ratings for our schools. What I mean by that is, currently in Ohio we have a system where a C school is continuous improvement. That sounds pretty good. Continuous improvement, you're improving. Well, it's not improvement if it was effective the year before. So we need to have something so the community can get behind and understand and celebrate the excellence of our schools when they're doing great, and also clearly know when a school isn't performing. The other thing that Florida has shown is that its school grades have increased and improved. So have Ohio's. The difference is Florida, measured by objective standards like the NAEP assessment, their student performance has gone up. So Ohio's school grades have gone up. We have more schools excellent and excellent with distinction than ever before. But our overall performance on the ACT, on the NAEP, is relatively flat. So we're saying we're doing better, but it should more closely track student achievement rather than just be something we can cheerlead about behind the name excellent or excellent distinction. Thirdly, providing scholarships for low-income students. In the tax credit program in Florida, any student who qualifies for free and reduced price lunch has the ability to apply for this scholarship. That's almost 50% of students in the state of Florida. Ohio has had a lot of experience with school choice programs, but they're very, very limited, very, very narrowly targeted. The current thing, the Ed Choice program and the Cleveland program combined have eligibility of only 8% of Ohio students, whereas Florida's program concentrated on those families least likely to be able to afford an option if it's not working for them, provide access to up to 50% of students. And finally, Florida gets almost 50% of their teachers through non-traditional educational routes, something other than the traditional college of education. So in Florida, if you had a degree in chemistry, you went out and had a successful career, you decided to come back and want to teach high school chemistry, it's a very clear, open process that is a lot of, you can really tell how to get into the field if you decide that teaching is your calling. What that has done is it's opened up the ability for Florida to recruit talented professionals into the field, which we think is a very positive thing. In Ohio, we've just recently passed some good changes to really increase the clarity with which to pursue alternative certification. But right now, no one knows about it. You have to actually go and research it and look it up. So all we're calling for here is that the Department of Education to actually advertise and make sure professionals know that if your dream is to be in a classroom, it's not too late. So with that, we are happy to take your questions. This is an incredible opportunity for the discussion in Ohio to shift toward how we can make improvements. And I think using Florida as a model, a state that has actually achieved, has actually improved, especially performance for its lowest, typically lowest performing students, they're an incredible model that we should strongly consider.
This third grade promotion ending that, how difficult do you think a concept like that would be to get through in Ohio at this stage?
Yeah, I think that it was I was actually an employee in Florida. I was legislative staff at the time when that was being debated, and as people came back asking for that, it is an important and difficult thing to move forward. There's no doubt about that. The question is, what is the cost of not pursuing it when it's so closely tied to student achievement? And we know a student who can't read at grade level by the end of the third grade is going to have a difficult time graduating high school and having a successful independent life and achieving their dreams. The cost of not doing it is even higher than the political cost of going forward with an effort that in the end is really about making sure that kids have the skills they need to be successful. So it'll be a battle. It would be a battle, but it's one that's worth fighting.